Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Shem Rakakodash, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of you elect out there, Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video 2025, a year of change for the worse. 2025 is also officially the hopeful year of our deliverance and the destruction and judgment on Esau. And we know who Esau is, we know who we are. So this is the omen right here. This is a video. It's on my notifications. Let me just double check that. Yep, it was on my notifications. Sometimes I get videos and sometimes I don't on my notifications. So it says, this is a big sign. Watch what happened on New Year's Eve. So you got to watch this video. Short video, 15 minutes, not even 16 minutes long. But when you watch the beginning of this video, I'm not going to try to find it, but 3 places got hit. Where the hell is it? Okay, it's right here. Okay, so this is 17. $17:36. That's not 10 o'clock. Let me see. And what looked like the start of a clean state, or it should be slate, I believe, seems to have been hindered by nature's force on 31st December 1736, which is military for now that has nothing to do with let me see something. I'm sorry. 18 is 6. So that had to be around 5-ish. Let me do this. The brother, the elder, well, the young up and coming elder / teacher. He's a young man. Let me see. Bear with me for a minute. I know that 1800 is 6 o'clock p.m. if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so let me just do this. Bear with me for a minute. $1,700 hours. That's 5, so it's 5:36. But when you watch the video, the up and coming elder teacher said this. By the name is his name. He goes by the name of forgot to mention Bakar Amath. So let me come on back here. Matter of fact, let me just let it play from the beginning. Lightning strikes iconic buildings in U.S. What is this? Netizens linked it to Trump. Netizens link it to Trump.
Praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And wanted to go into this lesson real briefly, highlighting something that happened last night, along with the look ahead right? As the Apostle Tahar coined the year, right, 2025, the hopeful year of our deliverance and destruction and judgment on Esau. And Lord willing, Aman, right? So let it be. So Lord willing, that be the case. Now, like I said, Lord willing won't be too long of a video, but I wanted to highlight this, which happened last night. And as you can see, it says lightning strikes iconic buildings in U.S. Netizens link it to Trump. So it says after lightning struck 3 important U.S. buildings, the state of the internet was torn between varying opinions. And this happened on New Year's Eve that night, right? I believe like around 10, maybe around 10:40 or 10:40 something, around that time or so. I think it was after 10 p.m. though.
Yeah, so it says 1736, so that would be 5. That's military time for 5:36 p.m. So we got that right. So he said 10:30 or whatever. So that if that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17, 18, 19, 22, 1, 22. It would be 2200, 2236 or whatever. So he's going to actually say it was around 10 o'clock. Or did he say it already? Let me bring this back. Yeah, this year, we see this year as being far worse. The Most High, we see the Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai kicking it up to the next gear. Let's hope he kicks it up to maximum overdrive.
10, maybe around 10:40 or 10:40 something, around that time or so. I think it was after 10 p.m. though, because there was this out of nowhere this thunderstorm, right, that just came out of nowhere basically and started hitting, especially Times Square, and hence came the lightning strikes.
Yep, it came out of nowhere, and it was around 10ish. Now I put a comment there. My power went out and went back on, like almost in a second. Everything. I was like, what the hell is this? But it was a bolt of lightning. The TV went off. I think the kitchen light was on. The lights were dimmed for about 2 seconds and came back on. It said my power went out and went back on at around 10 p.m. or so. Could have been 10, 10:15, 10:30, 10:36, whatever, or so, and came back on. Immediately came back on. So let me let you listen. When the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, takes down the kingdom, you get signs that come before it. When Yahushai came on the scene, when he was born, there was a sign, and Herod knew about that. When you go back to before the birth of Moses, the Egyptians, the enemy, they knew that there was going to be a deliverer, a Messiah, which means chosen one. Moses was a Messiah of his time. Messiah just means chosen one. So the enemies always knew. The Egyptian, the stargazers, the spiritual men of Egypt, they knew. The elite knew. The pharaohs and the pharaoh of that time knew. They say it was during the time of Ramses the first, going into Ramses the second. Supposed to be during the time of Nefertiti, but you got to go into the history. But they did. The elite of Egypt, Mizraim, knew that there was going to be a deliverer because of a sign, because they dealt with the spirit, the stargazers, and so forth. And you always had magi's. But the birth of Yahushai, there was a star that came over Yahushai and his father and his mother in the manger. Manger just means eater. That's where the field animals ate, horses or cows or whatever. A manger is nothing but an eater, like a big bowl, if you will, or they might have grass in there and they'll eat the grass or whatever. So that's what a manger is. And, you know, got so-called Christians. The manger means, a manger is the eater. The word, it's Latin manger, which means to eat, manja. In Italian, they say manja. They'll say eat, eat. Right? So Herod the Great knew that the Messiah was going to be born at that time. So he put out an order to his men of war to kill the babies 2 years and under. It said babies, but actually it was men's children. It says babies. It says baby, but it was talking about the men children. They didn't kill the baby girls, because they figured if they killed all of them, and that was it. Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. So we're gonna take this as a sign, man. And then I woke up to hear in New Orleans, we say, that there was a guy, somebody, at least one person in a pickup truck, run over a bunch of people. Supposedly killed 10. 10 is confirmed dead. I believe like another 29, 30 were injured. Then he pulled out whatever he pulled out a firearm, whether it be a 9, whether it be a Uzi, whatever it was, but he bust off shots, and they said that he died in the process. And our antennas went up. We got to think about that. I'm not gonna say no more about that. But anyway, what did I say I was gonna go? Let me do this. It's either I believe it's Matthew 2. Okay, the visit of the Magi, right? Now, when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Yahweh in the days of Herod the king, that's Herod the Great, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. And let me say this real quick. When and I read this the other day, maybe 2 days ago, where it speaks about Herod, the son. He had sons and daughters, but the chief Herod was one of the sons of Herod the Great, which Herod the Great got old and died. So they finally, they confronted Yahushua, Peter, the whole thing with Peter and pulling out the sword and cutting off Malchus' ear, which was he was a servant under the high priest, one of the priests or whatever. And the first place that they went to was Herod. Herod had his men of war. I've been saying that a lot in the last couple of days. And when Herod saw Yahushua, he was happy to see him. He said, yeah, this is the guy that performs all kind of miracles. His attitude was, I'm going to see if he can perform a miracle on me. So he said, how you doing, Yahushua? And, Yahushua ignored him. And he didn't do it. He didn't say, you know what, I'm going to bust a miracle on you, because I did it to another heathen, the Syrophoenician woman. You guys out there teaching that the Syrophoenician woman is another nation, the Most High is not dealing with you on that. You don't have the comforter, because you would know that the Syrophoenician woman, a woman of Canaan, the woman was a Greek. Look up that word Greek in the New Testament. I think it's one time when it says Greek, it says, I believe it says Greek 2 times, but you got to go to the King James, which is John 7:35. Go to the King James, then go to the NLT. It says, would he go among the Greeks to teach the Greeks, or something like that. That one time is talking, I believe that one time is talking about the other nations. Any other time you see the word Greek, capital G-R-E-E-K, it's referring to Israelites. So the woman that the woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by nation. I mean, Syrophoenician is the land of Canaan. She lived in Canaan because she was an Israelite, but didn't so much know that she could have been like Cornelius, because a lot of them were waking up to the fact that this is the Messiah, and they were starting to believe that, wait a minute, we got to be descendants, because they had a feast in St. John, I believe it's St. John 12 and 19. I got to go to that. Let me go to that. St. John. John 12. This is why it's a complete and utter waste of time dealing with these Christians, because they don't understand words. Even the ones that go to the Greek, they still don't understand them words, man. Complete waste of time dealing with them. Okay, so right here is the word Greek. Greek seek Jesus. What does that mean? Other nations? No. Israelites, the best give you Timothy's father was a Greek. That means Timothy was an Edomite. So the Apostle Paul let an Edomite come up under his wing. Timothy's father, a Greek, was an Israelite that didn't accept being an Israelite, but he fell in love with him and Timothy's mother fell in love with each other. But she wasn't really breaking the law, because she wasn't with a Greek, she wasn't with an Edomite. It says, and there were certain Greeks, these are Israelites, that were not, in other words, they didn't have fringes on. They probably had tattoos. They were raised up in a household that didn't teach them that they were Israelites, so they were definitely not circumcised. And that goes back to what? That's why it's important. When a Christian say, well, we don't deal with the Apocrypha, it's not accepted. I say, okay, then arguments, I'm walking. Bye. Goodbye. Complete waste of time, man. It says, in there were certain Greeks, which were Israelites, but somehow the Syrophoenician woman, she was of another nation. Among them that came up to worship at the feast. So this was a feast. I may even go into the, let's see. I'm sorry, let me do this. I got to come up a little bit further. Right, the people, therefore, that was with him when he called Lazarus out of the grave and raised him from the dead bear record. So the people saw, there was witnesses there, right? So even Herod got the witness. This guy even raises the dead. I got to meet this dude. And then when Yahushua, our Lord, ignored him, like, man, who the hell, the F your problem? He said, man, beat this guy down. And said, man, fuck this nigga, you know? And they were called niggas too in Antioch, Christians and niggas. For this cause, the people also met him, for that they heard that he had done this miracle. Now, you raise somebody from the dead, you're going to be famous overnight. Hey, if Bishop Nate raised the dead, the first thing I'm going to say is that shit is a hoax. Brothers from GMS, no, we're going to Bishop Nate. It says the Pharisees therefore said, and if we perform miracles and raise the dead, guess what? Everybody gonna come to us. All right. Perceive ye how ye prevail nothing. Behold, the Pharisees, right? Behold, the world is going after them. When you look up that word world, the word there is not oikomeni, it's not eon. The word there is cosmos. Same word world in John 3:16. So when you come across John 3:16, you don't have to go to 5 different scriptures to prove that that's talking about Israel. All you got to do is say the word is cosmos. Cosmos means a certain segment of something. And they don't understand that. Christians don't understand. They don't understand. Ask them, look, the word world, when you come across the word world in the we're dealing with the New Testament, we can deal with the Old Testament too. What did it mean? Well, it means everybody. Nope. That's why when you buy books from but the Christian scholars put together, they always make reference to the Greek or the Hebrew. That's why you guys buy the book. So what are some of the terms when you come across the word world, especially in the New Testament? Cosmos, which is Greek. Oikomene, which is Greek, which is talking about the whole world. And eon, right? Those three just come to mind. So the Pharisees said, look, the whole world is following. The cosmos is following these Israelites. Even the one, because the Pharisees knew that these were Israelites, but didn't want to acknowledge that they were Israelites. Well, you ain't Israelites because you ain't circumcised. You can't speak Hebrew. I saw you eating pork. You got tattoos on you. You ain't got no beard on your face. You got tribal mark, all kind of. You don't dress like an Israelite. So they say you ain't an Israelite. Scripture said, cast him off as a heathen man, right? If he fails to listen to the church. So it says, Greeks seek Yahushua. When they say Greeks, it's talking about Israelites, like Cornelius, perfect example. And there were certain Greeks, Israelites, among them. And by the way, I believe Apostle Rambam said this. He said, when before, all of us were Gentiles. In this time, we slumbered and slept, Matthew 25. Among them that came up to worship at the feast. So this feast was a feast. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Okay, let me see. Commentary. Bible Hub. I always go to Bible Hub because I'm familiar with it. Let's see what they say. Okay. The desire of the Gentiles and the voice from heaven. I just went to 20th verse. Greeks. The same word is translated Gentiles. John 7:35. I mentioned that, right? It says, then said the Jews among themselves, where will he go that we shall not find him? Will he go to the dispersed, which are Israelites, among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? So Gentile, the first time you see Gentiles is talking about the other nations. The second time, the last word before the question mark is Israelites. So the scribes and the Pharisees knew that there were Israelites out there, and they knew the history about the Maccabean history. They knew how Israelites were forced to become Greeks. So you got the word Gentile in here 2 times, but it's 2 separate meanings. Now, if you click on the word, it should give you the same root word, the same Greek word. So a lot of times, when it says Gentiles, it's an Israelite based upon the context, right? It said Greeks, the same word is translated Gentiles, the dispersed among the Gentiles. So these Greeks that came to the feast, they were Israelite in a Gentile state of mind. Coming out of that, they were coming back to Israel. Where see note, care must be taken to distinguish in the New Testament between Hellenists or Hellene or Greeks, i.e. born Gentiles, who may who may or may not have become either Jewish proselytes, meaning they were Jews that came back into the faith, or Christian converts. There was no Christians back there. The word Christian came about in the book of Acts, 11th chapter. And Helleniste, or Grecians. Now, what's the difference between a Greek and a Grecian? I went through this before. If you go to Acts chapter 6, it tells you about the widows, the Grecians. Those were Israelites that knew that they were Israelites, were circumcised on the 8th day, but that were born outside of the land. So the people that followed him to go to the feast were Hellenes. So I don't got to read no more. It says, as our Bible renders the word, i.e. Jews who spoke Greek and not Aramaic or Hebrew. Aramaic, you listen to somebody say something in Aramaic, it's another form. Arabic is another form of Hebrew. Different dialect of Hebrew, you can say. We say Abba, they say Abu. We say Bun, they say Ibn. We say Shalom, they say Salam. Neither word occurs in the synopsis. Hellenes or Hellenes, are mentioned here, John 7:35, and frequently in the Act and in St. Paul's epistles. Helleniste are mentioned only in Acts 6. Hellenistes were Israelites that were labeled Hellenistes, but they knew they were Israelites born outside the land. Helen or Hellenes is talking about like Cornelius. Acts 6:1, Acts 9:29, 9:29, and Acts 11:20. The right reading is probably Hellenes, which are like Cornelius. It came up to worship, or better that were wont to go up to worship. This shows that they were proselytes. When I came in as a proselyte. I didn't know I was an Israelite until somebody told me, "Yo, you an Israelite. Here's the scriptures, John, Deuteronomy 28:68, and this. That's what gets you, Deuteronomy 28 and 68. That's why the Christians attack Deuteronomy chapter 28. Because when you read Deuteronomy 28, apply it to the small hats. Don't fit them. Oh, they're talking. That's why you don't deal with these clown ass Christians, man. Proselytes of the gate, like the Ethiopian eunuch, which, by the way, he was an Israelite. I'm not going to go into details. And on Matthew 23, verse 15, in this incident, we have an indication of the salvation rejected by the Jews passing to the Gentiles. Right? Let's look at that. Matthew 23 and 15. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you compass sea and land to make a proselyte. What is a proselyte? Somebody new coming into the faith. And when he is made, you make him twofold a child of hell than yourselves. You bring them into, come, you're an Israelite, come in. Then you put hell on them, Passing through the Gentiles, which are Israelites. The scene of it was probably the court of the Gentiles. It is now these Gentiles could come inside the court, because that's in Acts 21 where Jake tried to kill Paul. Don't you letting these heathens up in here? They were not heathens, they were Israelites, but they wasn't raised up as Israelites. It is like Cornelius. It is peculiar to St. John. So it doesn't go into detail as to what the particular feast was. Jake likes to have, parties. He liked to party. So let me come back over here. So anybody that's teaching that the woman was a Canaanite, a Syrophoenician by nation, the woman was a Greek, she was an Israelite. She was an Israelite. She was an Israelite. That's why Yahushua healed her daughter, because the mother was an Israelite and the daughter was an Israelite. But wait a minute. If the Lord healed heathens, why didn't he give the power to Herod? He ignored Herod. He didn't. At first, he ignored that woman. Then she said, "Oh Lord, son of David." You know, the dogs, because we are considered like dogs. Dogs apply to Israelites too. That ain't in their right mind. That's not Israel. Cast not thy pearls before swine, neither give that which is holy unto dogs. It ain't talking about don't give it to the Edomites. It's talking about don't give it to any old Jake. So now, okay, so now let's do this. I went a whole nother direction, but that's okay too. There's lessons within lessons. Okay, let's get back into this.
So it says here, in what looked like the start of a clean state, seems to have been hindered.
Right, it says state, it should be slate. Because the New Year's, January 1st is supposed to be, what do people do on the New Year's? Or New Year's Eve, or a couple of weeks? I'm going to join the gym. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back to school. It's called a New Year's resolution. Because you're going to start new. You're going to see me, and by March, April, when I go out on the beach, you're going to see a different me. So the New Year's to them is renewal. So this is not a good sign. Out in New Orleans, 10 people, it could be more, 10 people dead, about 30 people injured. The guy got killed and all that. And it happened on New Year's Eve, going into New Year's. So let's listen.
So it says here, in what looked like the start of a clean state.
Right, it should say slate. It would look like the start of a clean slate.
Seems to have been hindered by nature's force on 31st December 1736, which is, I guess, what military time or whatever. Which when you convert that,
at 5.
What did they tell us?
That's 5:36 p.m. Eastern time.
5:36, as they have it here, Eastern time. It says the Empire State Building, One World Trade Center, and the U.S. Capitol were all struck by lightning. Now,
let's hear that again. That's definitely a sign.
It says the Empire State Building, One World Trade Center, and the U.S. Capitol were all.
That's a man. It hit 3 buildings: the Empire State Building, because this place is an empire. The One World Trade Center. We know what One World stands for. If you go into the One World Trade Center and you Google it, you get all the information from it. The height, there's like a tower, like a metal tower up there. The height is exactly 1,776 feet. 1,776 feet. I remember when they wanted to complete the mission. They wanted to say, we're going to complete the mission on May 1st. It was completed officially on May 10th. You can go back and check, Jim. You can double check me. Be like the Church of Berea. Double check me. Not, just making this up. Well, just double check me. Fact check me. They wanted it to happen. They wanted to time it where it would happen on May 1st. Why May 1st? 1776? It's not talking about Independence Day. It's talking about something else. It's called May Day, right? So that's a power spot in the earth, the World Trade Center, or the One World Trade Center. What's on your dollar bill? E pluribus unum, out of many one. Now, like I said, they couldn't complete it on the 1st because it was real windy. I don't know if it was raining, but it was real windy. So they had to kind of sit out, and then they finally completed on the 10th. Double fact check me. Be like the Church of Berea, right? Don't be a zombie like the people of IUIC, okay? Center and the U.S. Capitol. The U.S. Capitol. Come on now. That's a major spot on the earth. That's the center of the United States, which is the capital, right? The Capitol got struck, and that's in D.C. The Empire State Building got struck. That's in New York. The real empire is here in New York. And the World Trade Center. All those 3 buildings happen to get struck. That's a sign. That's a sign. Empire State Building, One World Trade Center, and the U.S. Capitol, which, if you, how many miles is that? That's 4 hours, 6 and 6, 12. What is it? About 240, 250 miles from New York City to D.C. I know because we drove down there. It says, while scientifically the phenomenon makes a sense due to the positive charge of the building interaction with the negative charge. Well, no, but why these buildings? Why these buildings? Huh? There's a reason why. Now, let me see. I'll just let it play. Let it play.
All struck by lightning. Now, this happened, I think the Empire State Building one I heard about, while we were doing the stream last night, and that was somewhere around like 10 p.m., so not sure entirely where this time.
Right, it was like maybe 10:15, and the storm came out. You heard the clouds bumping. You heard the lightning, thunder, and started coming out. And I said, "Up!" I'm looking. I said, "Yep." And all of a sudden, everything went black. Everything. The TV turned off. The lights went out for about 2 seconds. Then it came back on. And then I said, "Oh, it's no big deal." I didn't know that 3 major power places in the earth was going to be hit.
That was put in here is coming from, but anyway. So the point here is that the Empire State Building, World Trade Center, and the U.S. Capitol were all struck by lightning, right? That same so-called New Year's Eve. It says here, while scientifically,
and we take it as a bad omen from the spirit world, in particular, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It could have happened 2 weeks ago. It could have happened 6 months ago. It just so happened on New Year's Eve, going into New Year's, which I take it as a bad omen.
Phenomenon makes sense due to the positive charge of the building interacting with the negative charge of the cloud.
They're trying to come with some logical. Look, okay, if a lightning hit a building, that happens, right? But these 3 buildings, the Capitol, the Empire State Building, and the One World Trade Center.
Cloud. Many users were quick to link it as a sign of things to come. Now, here's the thing about that, right? You have people saying, oh, yeah, this is, something that can happen. It's scientifically possible. Yeah, and also...
Yeah, because you're looking for a logical explanation.
Some of the plagues that the Lord brought upon the earth were scientifically possible, right? Bringing the east wind with locusts, tearing up the crops, having it hail, right? During the plagues of Egypt, those happened naturally. But did that mean that it still wasn't sent from the Lord? No. So you have people that try to negate, some of these signs, right? Because lack of belief or whatever it may be. as where we look at them and see that this isn't things, nothing happens by coincidence when you're living in the world of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Everything is deliberate, you know, and those that have the eyes to see can see and discern these things and identify them. So, like I said, you have some people that try to brush it aside and throw science on top of it. But yeah, there are lots of things that have happened where it's been classified as, you know, look at some of the earthquakes that have happened. Look at some of the storms that have happened. And people are like, yo, this has to be like, you know, I think even for certain natural disasters, there's a level known as, what is it, the hand of God? So what's that about?
Yeah, Category 5 hurricane is known as the hand of God. Now let me read this. It says, one user tweeted, "It's going to be biblical," while linking an AI-generated image signifying Trump's transition to power. Now, something may or may not happen on, you know, what is it, 6 days from now? What is it, the first, second, third, fourth, 5 days from now, on the 6th, because he officially, the torch is officially passed from Biden to Trump. And then the 20th of that same month, so we're talking 3 weeks, he's inaugurated, which goes back to the Roman emperors, right? It says Trump's transition to power. And Trump says, God put me up, which he did. He put you up there for a reason. You can usher in the missiles. Let's hope you're the guy. Usher in the chip. He said he said it. He said, I'm the chosen one. Another user joined this train by tweeting, "Cheers to 2025. That strike seems like an omen for Biden to leave and let President Donald Trump in." Meaning, God really always wanted Trump to be the president. No, dumbass. Let's keep listening. See, this is why guys fall off. Men and women, they come into this truth and they fall off, and they blaspheme this truth. They curse us out. They say that we're crazy, we're bugged out. Look at my main man, San Miguel TV. He don't sleep good at night. He don't sleep good at night. 'Cause I'm pretty sure he has dreams and so forth. You know, he keeps trying to tell himself that there's no such thing as the Most High, and we're not the Israelites, and this, that, and the third. But the spirits keep messing with him.
You know, so yes, these things can naturally happen. Yes, they can happen scientifically, but it doesn't mean that the Most High, you know, does not set them up at the end of the day. So, it says many users were quick to link it as a sign of things to come. One user tweeted, "It's going to be biblical." Now you notice whenever these out of the norm situations happen.
Look at this. Unknown 22 hours ago. Unknown virus rampages in China. Hospitals Hospitals utterly overwhelmed. All of a sudden, this mysterious, and that's the China Observer, which I believe I subscribe to this. I get notifications. Matter of fact, let me do this. So now your eyes got to be open, all right? Okay, the people's. Okay, rumble.com. Right, this is for the people's voice, if I'm not mistaken. The water for the info. Right, yeah, that's on Rumble, but I watch it on my Roku TV. You can even watch our videos on Roku. You go to the YouTube app, or you go to the Odyssey app, or you go to the Rumble app. Anyway, Oh, I gotta watch this. There's a lot of things happening, man. Okay.
The first, what the world would call religious book that gets linked here is the Bible. Biblical proportion.
Yeah, that's the #1 book. You can even look it up. I believe that we looked it up. What's the #1 best-selling book on the planet, or how we put it? And they said the Bible, the scriptures. And what else did we do? We had something else in Google. Oh, the #1 prophetic book is the Bible, not the Quran. There's no prophecies in the Quran, by the way. There's no future prophecies in the ancient book of the dead, the 42 negative confessions. And another thing, leave them black conscious Negroes alone. Leave Islam alone. Anybody that's in Islam, they're gonna be destroyed on this side. Farrakhan might be taken out. He might be summoned to the spirit, because he's teaching that Elijah Muhammad is in the mother plane. Well, guess what? If you pass, you're gonna be in the mother plane with Elijah, which is not true. But the people, you got simple-minded, bird-brained Negroes that believe shit like this. Oh, let me show you this. I'm a little all over the place. Now, this is called the Planet Risk full movie. Now, you got to watch this madness. You got to watch this madness. The Planet Risk and all that. And I'm laughing at it, right? But I'm looking at this is a couple of weeks ago. I'm looking at the comments to show you how bugged out our people are. Our black kids need black movies like this. I've been waiting on this. Please make movies like this. When you watch this here movie, I'll remember to leave it in the description. If not, just you can put in Starseed Galaxy. This was 2 months ago. The title of the video is Planet Risk, a full movie, 4K, AI short film. So AI just made this up. When you think of the Planet Risk, the first individual that should come to mind is Eman Issa or Dr. York, because he was one of the guys pushing. There's a planet called Planet Risk. Okay, now let me see. It's time to project our cosmic worldview, whatever the hell that means. Non-colonized melanin star people. Oh, we're not Israelites. We're non-colonized melanin star people. Say that 5 times fast. With spirituality and power, let's go. Amen, brother, sister. I wish to see a full 3-hour movie on this. Swear down this would be a box office hit. Yeah, because the Most High didn't open up your mind. He didn't give you the eye salve. So why bend over backwards trying to get a Negro to get this? The black future looks glorious. Yeah, yesterday, today, and forevermore. The reason they want us in poverty, they know what we can become. We are the better creatures. The true creatures. Yeah, but what's the name of the true creatures? This is beautiful. Nothing but originality. Stop waiting for God to return. We are here and we have been here. That was most fire. Most fire thing I've seen all year. I'm in tune. You're not in tune. If you was in tune, I ask your nationality, you say I'm an Israelite. Highly provoked and ready for this story to bring more confusion. I've been waiting for the ancient God-like beings to return. Yo, Jake is gone. Jake is freaking gone. See, we're talking some Jake coming with their other worldly bullshit. You tell them, look, brother, we filming, you come back and see us next week, and you make sure you're not there next week, or something like that. Shook, whatever that means. This is wonderful to see. Keep them coming. Yeah, because you want to stay in confusion. I got chills. Wow, let's go. I love it. We need a full movie that was amazing to see. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait a minute. It says that was amazing to see after had read the holy I read through the holy tablets. That's, well, this is why we understand and can see why 2/3 is not gonna make it. This is brilliant. The film is going to be spectacular. It's a stumbling block too. And this is an AI. AI, you think about the white man, Elon Musk and different scientists, generated perspective, very powerful, nicely done when in melanated use. They really need to make a full-length movie so I can more confused. This was epic as F, so thought-provoking. My damn woman, my soul is vibrating for truth. You tell these people no, we're not Israelites. No, we're not the Israelites. No. First of all, it was never people called Israelites. It was never land Israel. The true people, the original people. What is it? The tribe? No, we're the tribe of Shabazz. If a nigga roll up on you saying, no, we're from the tribe of Shabazz, please try to get him down the street. You ain't gonna wake him up. I could feel it. That was beyond beautiful. You brought the teachings to life. They call it the teachings. Beautifully resonating to the spirit. Love this. I love to see this movie happen. Bring the holy tablets. That means these are former or current followers of this guy, Dr. York. But he has no power, right? So anyway, if I forget, Starseed Galaxy, this was put up 2 months ago. Planet Risk, full movie, 4K, blah, blah, blah. But I'll try to remember to put it up. So let's come back over here. Oh, you know what let me do? Let me go to the preset. Give me a second here. I'm sorry. Come on now. Let me do this. See what's in the notifications. I'm a little all over the place, but that's all right too. Judgment beginning. The new year off proper. Tragedy strikes. And now we don't know the nature of the tragedy. You know what I mean. For the ones of you that are in the know, we don't know the nature of the tragedy. So let me do this. Go to this real quick. Let me go to Genesis 1:14. I'm sorry. Now the word there is powers, Elohim. And Elohim said among themselves, Let there, what do you mean among themselves? There's only one God. That was God. Okay. What does 26 verse mean? I'll read it verbatim. And God made the beast. I'm sorry. And God said, let us make man. Well, I thought it was one. Who's he talking to? Himself? And Elohim said, Wa Elohim Amar, and the angel said, led by Yahushua, John 1:1, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and seasons and days and years. This word signs is omens. Omens. And the word there is awath. It says la athaf. Like la can mean two or can mean four. Awath. Sign, signal, a distinguishing mark. Cain got that sign on him, right? So we know who he is. It's the white man, leprosy. Banner, remembrance, miraculous sign, omen, warning. When the lightning hit the Capitol building, the One World Trade Center, and the Empire State Building, that's definitely a warning. Because if you go to New York City, there's buildings taller than the Empire State Building. And they have towers too, you know? It says token, ensign, standard, miracle proof. Let me pull out some of these scriptures here. Okay, there's 79 times. I'm not going to read all of them. And the Most High said, this is the token of the covenant, which I made between every creature. That's the rainbow. So the rainbow, after the rainbow still appears. That's a covenant, which is a sign. Because if the Most High flooded the earth again, that would make him a liar, because he said, I make a covenant. I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to use water to destroy the earth. And this is my sign of the covenant, which is the rainbow. I do set my bow in the cloud. Yep. Because it's a bow. Let me see. And the power said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. That's talking about the nation. Now you got Christians saying, no, we're under the covenant too. And yes, you're under that covenant. You're under, there's different covenants or agreements. They'll use a circumcision. See, that's a covenant. Yes, it is. All the nation is in the new kingdom. They're all going to be circumcised. That includes Esau, Ham, all of them. It says, and you should circumcise. Let me see, and this would be, let me see what this is. Exodus 3, verse 12. And he said, certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token or a sign, an omen unto thee, that I have sent thee when thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt. Ye shall serve the Most High upon this mountain. So he gave him signs. Let me open that up. But you get the point. That lightning strike that struck those major buildings of importance, it says, Moses said unto the Most High, who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh So he said, look, he said, I'm gonna make you a god in the Pharaoh. I'm gonna make you a god in the Pharaoh. And Aaron will be your prophet. So when they first encountered Pharaoh, Pharaoh's like, what they ain't got I ain't got no power. What you talking about? Just get in line with the rest of the rats. Inside joke. So when he started showing power, the staff turned into a serpent, and the Pharaoh kind of smirked and said, got the Magi's, the spiritual men, and they threw down 2 serpents and it turned into snakes. But what showed the greater power? That the one serpent, which was a staff, ate the other 2, which said, the power that I'm coming with is more powerful than the power that you coming with. And when they, left so-called Egypt, Mizraim, there was a series of major signs, 10 signs, which the word there is omen. Omen. Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, have shaken the voice. Okay, let me read this. Exodus 4, verse 8. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to thy voice of the first sign, which is a omen, that they will believe the voice, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. Okay, and thou shalt take this rod, and I mentioned that about the snakes. Did the signs in the amongst the people, the sight of the people. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart and multiply my signs. Now they're talking about fog. This fog everybody's talking about. That people are getting sick from this fog. They're not talking about the drones and the orbs. And I will, Exodus 8, verse 23, and I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be. So you got Jake's thinking that, no, my foreparents are the pharaohs. I did a DNA test, 23andMe. 23andMe is getting ready to go out of business. Pharaoh for Egypt signs, which bear me for a minute, y'all. Right, ensign means a banner. Let me do this. Let me just do this. Bear me for a minute. Okay, 14 times. Okay, I will smite all thy borders with frogs. So that's a sign, right? Matter of fact, let me open this up. Then he had the plague of the insects, which are signs. Move to the 9th chapter. Egyptian cattle die. Another sign, omen. The plague of the boils. Plague of hell, mingle with fire. And Moses stretched forth his rod or his staff toward heaven, and Yahweh sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along upon the ground. And that can happen. That scientifically logically can happen. You can have a hailstorm with lightning. So it's lightning and hail. And Yahweh rained hail upon the land of Egypt. So there was hail and fire mingled with the hail, very grievous, such as there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation. So this right here, let me come on back to this. This right here is a major sign, man, that it happened to hit the Empire State Building, sound like a broken record, One World Trade Center, and the Capitol, which is 250 miles away. So that's not a coincidence, man. It didn't happen by mistake or by chance. People are saying, one user tweeted, it's going to be biblical. So anyway, so this, if this ain't the year that we get delivered, a lot of things are going to move fast in this year. Anyway, with that, shalom, on to the next shalom.